Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of a movie about some of the city's old supervillains have teamed up to stop a superhuman who's trying to wipe out their town. If you enjoy it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Yelena is on a classified mission to infiltrate a lab and steal an experimental sample. She easily takes down all the guards and captures the lab supervisor, but he doesn't have the clearance to unlock the vault that holds the samples. As Yelena searches for another way in, the lead scientist catches her in the act.
Hi.
She uses a facial scanner with his face to unlock the vault and slowly walks in. The doctor is too terrified to shoot. Yelena disarms him, but he pulls out a second gun and fires. She hides and then ambushes him from behind. In the struggle, the doctor accidentally shoots himself in the face and dies. His face is destroyed, and Yelena is forced to blow up the entire lab.
Recap camp.
Meanwhile, in the city, a major court hearing is underway. Valentina is the head of the Ox Group and also leads a covert division of the CIA involved in illegal and superhuman operations. Bucky and a few others are trying to have her removed from office and thrown in prison. The court orders a deeper investigation. Valentina immediately instructs her assistant, Mel, to move all evidence from the OX warehouse to a different location as soon as possible. That night, Yelena randomly decides to visit her father, whom she hasn't seen in a year.
So good to see you!
Alexei sees himself as a former super soldier, but these days he's just a personal driver. After she leaves, Valentina calls Yelena and assigns her next mission. There's a high-security OX storage facility inside a mountain, and someone is stealing from it. Yelena must find and eliminate the thief. She enters the facility and heads to the lowest level where the vault is packed with sensitive documents. She examines a few and discovers some strange things until someone attacks her. It's Captain America, or rather a fake one, John. Yelena's confused. She knows John and he wasn't supposed to be the target. They start fighting, but Yelena can't beat him. That's when another person named Taskmaster shows up and attacks John. John blocks Taskmaster's attacks and defeats her too, but suddenly, someone else named Ava appears. She can turn invisible, phase through objects, and move incredibly fast. John tries to kill Yelena, but his shield strikes a strange device and accidentally activates it. Meanwhile, Taskmaster fights Ava, blocks her shots with her shield, and finally throws her into a wall with it. Just as Taskmaster is about to attack John, Ava appears in front of her and shoots her in the head. They all stop fighting. Right then, a man appears from the device. He tries to escape, but all the doors slam shut. He introduces himself.
I'm Bob.
Everyone's confused. No one knows where Bob came from or what he's doing there. Bob is terrified and has no memory of how he ended up here. Yelena, John, and Ava realize that Valentina sent all three of them on separate missions to this location. That means they've all walked into a trap. Ava tries to phase through the wall, but a sonic shield activates and blocks her. The room goes into full lockdown and starts heating up. It's basically an incinerator, and they've got less than 2 minutes to get out. Their only hope is to disable the sonic shield so Ava can phase through the wall and unlock the doors from the outside. They scramble and find the power source. John smashes it and Ava manages to escape through the wall. They assume she'll come back and save them, but nothing happens. With just seconds left, the door flies open and they all run. The blast wave throws them all across the room. Yelena flashes back to an old memory, suddenly noticing Bob is in it too. They both regain consciousness, but Yelena doesn't understand how Bob ended up in her dream. John turns to Ava and admits,
Hey, didn't think you'd come back, thanks.
Had to. Someone cut the power to the elevator.
At a formal party where Valentina is also present, Bucky speaks privately with Mel, trying to sway her to his side, offering her a chance to turn against Valentina and hand over evidence. After the party, Mel reports to Valentina that their plan to eliminate the others failed and the targets escaped. There was also an unknown individual among them.
Who the hell's this guy?
Valentina orders them to immediately identify the stranger and puts her strike team on high alert. Alexei, who's Valentina's driver, overhears all this and realizes his daughter is in danger. Back in the warehouse, the power is still down, and the four need to find another way out. Bob has a plan.
I have an idea.
They form a human chain and quietly climb up a tunnel. Later, Mel discovers Bob's identity. He was deeply depressed and joined a failed OX experimental program called Sentry. The program collapsed, all test subjects died. But now they suspect that if Bob's still alive, maybe the experiment did work after all. John finds an exit in the tunnel and breaks from the chain. The others fall. Yelena and Ava grab the walls, and Yelena manages to save Bob too. When John grabs Bob's hand to pull him up, he suddenly finds himself inside one of Bob's old memories. Yelena calls out to him, asking if he's okay. John starts getting suspicious. Something about Bob doesn't add up. The strike team seals the only entrance. While trying to escape, Ava uses her invisibility and slips out alone, leaving the rest behind. The trio comes up with a plan to cut the power, then wait for the strike team to enter with night vision so they can restore the power and blind them, giving John the edge to wipe them out. The plan works, except Yelena fails to restore power in time. John is forced to confront the strike team head-on. The commander tries to contact his men but gets no response. He sends in a second team. Yelena and Bob look for John but can't find him. Yelena thinks maybe he left them behind. As the second team gets close, Yelena ambushes them and shields Bob. She takes down most of the squad, but when she shoots the final attacker, she realizes it's John. He's got a new escape plan. They put on the strike team's uniforms and slip out undetected. As they search for a getaway car, Ava suddenly appears. She's been waiting outside the whole time. Just as they're about to leave, the sergeant grows suspicious and blocks their path, asking for identification. John resists, making the situation worse. Suddenly, gunfire erupts in the distance, and all the soldiers rush toward the noise. Ava realizes Bob is gone. They see him holding a rifle, drawing everyone's attention. The soldiers surround him. The commander gives the order, and Bob is riddled with bullets. Seconds later, Bob rises from the ground, completely unharmed. He's hovering above the ground, then suddenly shoots straight into the sky at incredible speed. Yelena and the others watch in disbelief. Valentina is in complete shock. In the sky, Bob loses consciousness and plummets to Earth, slamming into a mountain. The resulting explosion is massive, sending the group's vehicle off the road and into a ravine. They continue on foot. Yelena shows them what she found in the vault. John reveals that when the Sentry project failed, he was in charge of destroying everything, but no one ever knew someone had survived. The next morning, Valentina's people recover Bob's body from deep within the wreckage and transport it to HQ. On the road, Yelena hears a vehicle approaching. They all hit the ground. It's Alexei.
Oh, God.
They get in his car. He starts boasting about his past glory days and impossible missions, but Yelena knows it's all just talk. Her dad never really accomplished anything. John notices 3 military vehicles approaching from behind. Alexei slams the gas, but the car's a total piece of junk. Alexei tells them not to worry. The car's bulletproof. But when the first enemy vehicle opens fire, all the windows shatter. John uses his shield to block the bullets. Right then, Bucky shows up and blows up all 3 vehicles. John is relieved they survived, or rather he's too quick to celebrate. Bucky arrests all of them and says he's going to use them as witnesses against Valentina. They warn him about Bob's terrifying power, but Bucky doesn't realize just how bad things really are. Meanwhile, Valentina tells Mel about the power she could gain by using Bob, how she could control everything. Mel, sensing danger, immediately calls Bucky and warns him about Bob.
Bob.
As soon as Bucky hears the name, he realizes the true threat. He sets them all free, and they agree to help on the mission. When Bob regains consciousness, Valentina talks to him about his unmatched power and helps him learn to control it. She earns his trust, and now she can use him for everything she wants. Alexei asks Bucky about the plan. Bucky's drawn up a simple one. They get out and attack Valentina's guards, quickly wiping them all out. They take the elevator up. Bucky tells Valentina she should surrender before she makes things worse. Yelena asks about Bob, but Valentina doesn't answer. When Bucky tries to arrest her, his body suddenly freezes. Bob walks down the stairs. He's physically altered. Valentina tells them he's stronger than all superhumans who've ever existed. Bucky assumes her goal is to unleash him on the public, but Valentina replies,
No, I'm not going to hurt people. I'm going to hurt you.
Alexei lunges at Bob, but Bob casually hurls him into a wall with one punch. They all attack one by one, but Bob effortlessly counters every move. He even bends John's shield. When Bucky attacks, Bob catches his metal arm and rips it right off. The team jumps into the elevator to escape. Valentina orders Bob to finish them off, but he refuses. He says they're no longer a threat to him. Valentina demands obedience, but Bob knows now that his power is godlike. He doesn't need to listen to her. She pulls out a device from her pocket, something built just in case this ever happened. Bob lunges at her and she drops the device. Just as he's about to kill her, the device activates and knocks him unconscious. Mel shows up just in time to save Valentina. They both rush out of the tower, and that's when they see Bob in the sky. But he's changed. He's become the dark side of himself. His shadow self has taken over. With a single motion, Bob turns people into shadows and disintegrates them. A helicopter flies toward him. He kills the pilot and it crashes into a building. Buildings start collapsing over the city. Bucky and the rest of the team try to evacuate civilians, but the real threat is still there. They have no idea how to stop Bob. A massive wave of darkness spreads across the city. People start running in all directions, but Yelena gets closer to Bob's shadow. She thinks maybe, just maybe, she knows how to stop Bob. She takes a step forward and instantly turns into a shadow. Alexei witnesses his daughter's death and completely breaks down. Yelena wakes up in that same dream from earlier. She runs through the forest and slams into a wall. She speeds up, smashes through it, and finds herself in another dream. She realizes she's trapped in a maze of rooms. She spots Bob in the mirror, walks toward it, and suddenly ends up in another room. And there he is. She sees one of Bob's memories. His parents are beating him. She feels for him, but tells him he needs to stop what he's doing. Bob says it's not him. It's the dark part of himself that's taken control. Suddenly, the whole room starts shaking. Objects fly toward them. Bob says his dark half is doing this. They're seconds from being crushed when the team finally shows up and Ava rescues them. Yelena thanks everyone for coming after her. John asks, "How do we get out of here?" Bob says, "This place has 1,000 rooms, each worse than the last." Yelena tells him, "Then take us to the worst one." They head to the lab where Bob was experimented on. Yelena recognizes it. Bob explains that they conducted medical experiments on him here. That's where the monster inside him was born, and the monster is still here. It attacks everyone except Bob. Bob begs it not to hurt them, but it's no use. He attacks it, but he can't beat it. As the room starts collapsing, Bob gets up and throws everything he has at the shadow. He punches it over and over, but the shadow just laughs in his face. Bob starts merging into the creature. Yelena tries to stop him. Alexei helps her break free. Yelena reaches Bob, hugs him, and tells him to stop. Everyone rushes in and pulls Bob out. His shadow self starts to fade away, and it's over. The city returns to normal. All the people who'd turned to shadows come back to life. They spot Valentina in the street. They walk toward her to finally hold her accountable. But suddenly, they find themselves on stage at a press conference. Valentina introduces them as the new Avengers.
Meet the new Avengers.
And just like that, she gets away with everything. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, you know what to do.